Hey everybody, it's me Robert again. It's time for another strat-o-matic replay. Welcome to the year 1911. This is one of strat-o-matic's deluxe baseball seasons that they put out during the dead ball era, and what a baseball season it was. That was the year that the Philadelphia Athletics beat the New York Giants in the World Series 4-2. And just take a look at the MLB statistical leaders here according to Wikipedia. Ty Cobb bats an unbelievable .420. He gets 127 home runs. Philadelphia Athletics pitcher Jack Combs wins 28 games. Okay. In the National League, Honus Wagner bats .334. Grover Cleveland Alexander of the Philadelphia Phillies gets 28 wins. And Christy Mathewson of the Giants just is not on planet Earth with a 1.99 ERA for the year. In that season, the Athletics and the Giants played, and as we already found out, it was the Athletics beating the Giants 4-2. Now, in tonight's replay, I look at the events that came upon, and like May 13th, Ty Cobb, the Tigers hits the first Grand Slam of his year. The Detroit Tigers stated the biggest comeback in Major League history on June 18th. But as I looked through the events, the one that kind of came up on me was the one that was here September 12th. In the night game of the Bill as a pitcher's duel, Boston Rustlers Cy Young and the New York Giants Christy Mathewson face each other before 10,000 fans, Boston's largest crowd of the year. Young gives up 3 home runs and 9 runs in less than 3 innings. After the Giants build a 9-0 lead, Giants manager John McGraw lifts Mathewson, who pitched just 2 innings, preferring to save his ace for the pennant race against the Chicago Cubs and the Philadelphia Phillies. This is the only time the 2 future Hall of Fame pitchers ever face each other. You're talking about the best 2 pitchers in baseball history at that time, okay? And of course, at that time, the Boston was known as the Boston Rustlers in that year. They changed their name went from the Boston Bean Eaters, and then they went to the Doves. Now they're the Rustlers, and of course, the next stop for the nickname for that team, of course, would be the Braves. So I figured September 12th would be the game to play. So let's click out of here and let's go to strat-o-matic. It's going to be the New York Giants against the Boston Rustlers. It's going to be a nice day for a game. The game is going to be in Boston, and it's going to be Christy Mathewson versus Cy Young. I'm looking forward to playing this. So let's play ball.
Welcome to the stadium for today's ball game.
And we welcome you to an average day here at South End Grounds between the New York Giants and the Boston Rustlers. And for those of you for those of you who know, of course, this is the last year for South End Grounds because next year, okay, a new stadium opens up for Boston. And yes, people, that is Fenway. But here in the last year of South End Grounds, we got a game between Cy Young and Christy Mathewson. This is the only game where these 2 pitchers face off against each other. Remember, there was no interleague play. The only way you would face off is in the World Series. And I think that is special. So first, let's take a look at take care of our minimal housekeeping here. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to let the computer manager take care of Boston. I want to play the Giants in this game. So Boston will be managed by the computer. And we go back to the screen layout. As you can see, that seems to be okay. And the dice cards, we want the dice roll automatically. We want all dice to stop together. And show the cards, which is fine. And we don't want the crowd noise throughout the game. And I don't like the vendor sounds and music weapons anyway. So how about we play some ball? Okay, September 12th, New York Giants at Boston Rustlers at South End Grounds, and pitching, of course, first for the Boston Rustlers is going to be Cy Young. In 1911, 4 wins, 5 losses, a 3.71 ERA. As we all know at this time, Cy Young was definitely in his declining years at this time. But 4-5, 3.71 ERA, still not bad for the 1911 season. Let's get it up. Leading off for the New York Giants is going to be Josh DeVore. And I don't think I wrote it here, so I got to see what we got here. Hold on, what did I do? Oh, I clicked the wrong one. Here we go. Let's play ball. And it starts as a ground ball to Ingerton at second base. and he makes the play, one man down. Here's Larry Doyle for the Giants. There's a ground ball back to Young, and Young is going to make the play. Old man on the mound does the job, throws it over to Gowdy for the second out, and now we'll have Fred Snodgrass. Split card gives it a base hit. He'll get a single, and that goes into center. And it looks like that the Giants will have a man on first. Snodgrass is on first, and now we'll see Red Murray. He'll bat. There's the split, and there one. Murray drives the ball to center for extra bases. I will send the lead runner. They'll cut the throw off and allow the run to score. It's a double for Murray, and the New York Giants start off early with a 1-0 lead. Remember, Cy Young, gave up not pretty much, I think, 9 runs in the game. So this was a difficult game for him. So he didn't go that far as we've read, right? Let's go to the next batter. It's Fred Merkle for the Giants. And there's another base hit. Murray's going to take third. Runners at first and third, still with 2 outs. And now we have Buck Herzog to bat. He grounds one to Bridwell at short. He can't get to it. It's a single through the infield. Another run comes in to score. It's now 2-0 Giants. And so far, the game is going like the actual game did, pretty much, huh? Here is Art Fletcher. Runner still at first and third. There's a fly ball to right. Can Miller make the play? Yes, he will. New York Giants 2, Boston Rustlers coming up. And leading off for the Rustlers is going to be Scotty Ingerton. But let's take a look at the starting pitcher. That would be Christy Mathewson. In 1911, 26 wins, 13 losses, a 1.99 ERA. Like I said, he'd be making millions of dollars today. Scotty Ingerton will take the first bat up, and it says strike out. And now we will have Al Bridwell. Bridwell hits a ground ball to Merkle at first. That'll retire the side, and now we will have Al Kaiser. Kaiser strikes out, so a good inning for Mathewson, and we go to the second. Here's Chief Myers to lead it off for the Giants. He hits a ground ball to McDonald at third, who casually tosses it across the diamond for the out. And now here is Christy Mathewson. Mathewson smacks a long fly ball. This is going to drop for a double. So Mathewson gets to second on a double off of Cy Young. Amazing, huh? 2 old war horses, 2 of the best pitchers in history. And Christy Mathewson belts a double off of a nemesis that he's never faced before, Cy Young. The next batter is Josh DeVore. DeVore strikes out. And now we will see Larry Doyle, who happens to be 0 for 1. Doyle lines out to Gowdy at first, and this time the Giants fail to score. We go to the bottom of the second. Here's Harry Spratt. He will lead it off for the Rustlers. And there's a ground ball to Merkle at first base, 1 man down, and now we will see Doc Miller. Miller gets a base hit, and so the Rustlers get a man on, and we will see Ed McDonald for Boston. And Mathewson walks him, so now we have runners at first and second. And now the Rustlers will send up Hank Gowdy with 1 out, runners at first and second. Here's the pitch. Split card comes up. It's going to be a base hit to right for Gowdy, and we're going to have the bases loaded for Bill Raritan. How about that? Let's have a look at him with bases loaded. Bill Raritan, I don't know much about him. 1911, 228 average. No homers, so I guess he's not really a threat to hit a grand slam. But with 1 out and a 2-0 lead for the Giants, the Boston Rustlers are definitely threatening. Here's the pitch by Mathewson. It's a ground ball to third. He will make the play over to second to get the out, but the run does score, and it is now 2-1. And now here's Cy Young. Can Cy Young get a hit off of Mathewson just like it was done in the top of the inning? The answer is yes. A base hit to right for Young. McDonald scores. Raritan will be held at second. And just like that, the Rustlers tie the game at 2. So Mathewson gets a double, and Cy Young gets a big RBI hit. I have a funny feeling that this ball game is going to be a weird one. Scotty Ingerton will bat next for the Rustlers. Strike out, and the side is retired. 2 innings gone. It's New York 2 and Boston 2. I have a very funny feeling this game, as I said, is going to be wild. Fred Snodgrass will lead it off for the Giants in the 3rd. Pop fly ball to second. Ingerton with the play, 1 down. And we will now see Red Murray. Murray grounds one to Bridwell at short. He tosses it over to first for the 2nd out. And now here's Fred Merkel. Split card comes up a base hit. That'll be a single for Merkel. He'll go to first. And he's a bit of a threat to steal. Buck Herzog is up. And let's see. Can we get the lead? He's running. And he does. And he's safe. So Merkel moves into scoring position. And Buck Herzog will have a chance now to get the run in. Here's the pitch. And that's a fly ball to Spratt at center. And that retires the side. So we go to the bottom half of the 3rd, still tied at 2. And here's Al Bridwell to lead it off for the Rustlers. Ground ball to second. Doyle routinely tosses it over to Merkel, 1 down. And now we shall see Al Kaiser. Kaiser, it's a pop fly ball to 3rd. And Herzog will basically take it into the glove, easy for the out. And now we will have Harry Spratt. Spratt dribbles it. Can Myers make the play? Yes. Myers at catcher spot can make it. And that is the end of the first 3 innings of play. And the Giants and Rustlers are tied at 2. You know I could pause when I take a drink, but hey, it's baseball, guys. And I'm just happy that all you guys who are watching my replays are just having a great time enjoying them. Let's go to the 4th inning, shall we? Cy Young still back on the mound for the Rustlers, and we're going to see Art Fletcher lead off for the Giants. This one is hit hard and long. It will stay in the park. It will be a clean double for Fletcher. So the Giants start with a man on second, and we'll see what they do. Here's Chief Myers to bat. There's another double. This one's going to Kaiserman left. The Giants will score. It is now 3-2. So in this great matchup between Cy Young and Christy Mathewson, the Giants have gotten 8 hits off of Young, where the Rustlers have gotten 3 hits off of Mathewson. And speaking of Mathewson, he's up, and he's 1 for 1 with a double. And Mathewson continues to do the job. He will get a base hit. Myers will score from second. It's now 4-2 New York, as Christy Mathewson obviously knows how to hit Cy Young. Question is, back in Cy Young's real days, which were back in the earlier 1900s, all right, would he still be doing this? Here's Josh DeVore for the Giants. Mathewson on at first. There's a fly ball to right. Miller makes the play. That's the out. And we shall now go to Larry Doyle. Doyle walks. So runners at first and second now with 1 out. And here's Fred Snodgrass. Ground ball back to Young, and he cannot make the play. It's a single and an error. Mathewson scores from second. Doyle goes to third. Snodgrass to second. It's 5-2 Giants. And now here is Red Murray. And there's a strikeout, 2nd out. And now here's Fred Merkel. This is going to be a clean base hit to left from Merkel. Doyle will score. I will send the lead runner. The runner will score. It is now 7-2 Giants. Well, as I said, it's a good time to replay a game like this. And guess what? Cy Young is having the same type of trouble he had in this replay than he did at the actual game. That game, because it was a 9-0, and it's now 7-2. Here's Buck Herzog for the Giants, and he's going to bring in a new pitcher. So that is it. After 3 innings, Cy Young is out, and Fred Tenney brings in Hank Griffin. So pretty much just like it did pretty much all those years ago, he yanked out Cy Young after 3 innings. He basically gets out after 3.2 innings. Amazing how this works. Hank Griffin will come on to pitch for the Boston Rustlers. In 1911, no wins, 6 losses, 5.38 ERA. And we'll see what happens in here. Here's Buck Herzog. Herzog gets a ground ball to Bridwell at short. It can't get to it. Base hit through the infield. And now you got runners at first and second as the hits just keep on coming. Here's Art Fletcher. Fletcher hits a pop fly ball to short. He chokes in the clutch. And the side is mercifully retired. New York 7, Boston Rustlers 2. Bottom of the 4th inning. Here at an average day here at South End Grounds, home of the Boston Rustlers. This is the last year they play here. Mathewson back on the mound for the Giants. Here is Doc Miller. Miller hits a fly ball to DeVore and right. There's one out. And now coming up will be McDonald. Hits a fly ball to left. Can Murray make the play? Nope. It's going to be a one-base error by Murray. E7. The Rustlers get a man on. Next up for Boston is going to be Hank Gowdy. Gowdy hits a fly ball to left field. Murray this time will make the play, 2 down. And now here is Bill Raridan. And he grounds out to short. And they hit the man on base, but nothing doing after that. We go to the 5th. Still 7-2 Giants. Here is Chief Myers. That's going to be a ground out to the third baseman. McDonald tosses it over to first for the out. And now here's Christy Mathewson. He is 2 for 2. And you can make that 3 for 3. He goes ahead and gets a base hit on a nice hit. Mathewson is just absolutely destroying it today. He is having a heck of a day. And Mathewson is definitely a threat to steal. I kind of find that interesting that he is, but at least he says he is. You know, looking at his batting card. We'll see. 95%. Let's see what happens. Let's see if we can get him to go ahead here. I'll tell you, what? Tell you not. No, you're up 7-2. Keep on playing ball. Here's Josh DeVore. DeVore is going to get a base hit, and we will not send the lead runner. We'll hold the runners. Runners at first and second as the Giants keep on hitting Boston Rustler pitching. Here's Larry Doyle. Doyle hits a ground ball to Ingerton at second. And that is a 4-6-3 double play. And the inning is done. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Mathewson back on the mound. Hank Griffin is the batter. They will let him bat. Ground ball to Doyle at second over to first, 1 out. And now here's Scotty Ingerton. Ingerton, it's a fly ball to DeVore and right. He will make the play. He is one heck of a right fielder. And they're now 2 down. And now here's Al Bridwell. Bridwell pops it out to Fletcher. 6th inning. Let's see what we got up here. Fred Snodgrass. Snodgrass sounds familiar. I got to take a look at him real quick. Fred Snodgrass, outfielder, played first and second. In 1911, a 294 average, 1 homer, slugged about 388. I know something about Fred Snodgrass. His name sounds familiar. I'll have to take a look and have a look. He will bat. There's the pitch, and he will go take a track down to first. So 1 man on base, and we're going to see Red Murray. And that is going to be wow, he hits the triple. That is a deep fly ball into the outfield. He will get the triple. The run will score. It is now 8-2 New York Giants. And Fred Merkel will come up. Nobody out with the runner on third. And Merkel takes a walk to first. Now we have runners at first and third for Buck Herzog. Herzog hits a single to Kaiserman left. And I think they'll just hold the runners because right now it's turning out to be a rout. And it's now 9-2 Giants. And here is Art Fletcher. And here we got a fly ball to left. And Kaiser will make the catch. They finally get the first out in this inning. And now here's Chief Myers coming up for the Giants. Hits a ground ball to short, on to second, on to first, and the easy double play. New York 9, Boston 2, bottom of the 6th. As right now the Giants are almost toying with them here in South End Grounds. Here's Al Kaiser. to lead it off for the Rustlers. He grounds one to Herzog at third. He'll toss it over to first for the out. And now here's Harry Spratt. He grounds one to Merkel. Merkel will make the nice play at first base, and there's 2 down. And now it'll be Doc Miller. Miller hits a fly ball to right, and that is the easy play ball. And the side is retired. 6 innings done. New York Giants 9, Boston Rustlers 2. We're going to the 7th inning here at South End Grounds, in a game that I hope would be a little better than the actual game really went between Cy Young and Christy Mathewson. But, well, that's why you play the games, and that's why strat-o-matic, in my opinion, is still the best replay baseball game there is out there. I sometimes wonder how Out of the Park would have played this. The other game I do play Out of the Park religiously. I love it. For those of you who don't know what Out of the Park baseball is, Google it. Please trust me. You will enjoy it. If you really like taking a team and managing it through many years and taking it, and starting at a certain point in time in career play and moving through with some of the old players and the new players, Out of the Park baseball is king. But when it comes to replay of an actual season utilizing actual statistics, I think Out of the Park's AI is a little weak in the matter, and sometimes the AI is skewed, where strat-o-matic uses a dice, and I think strat-o-matic is vastly superior in the replay department. Let's go to the 7th inning. That was my rant for the day. Here's Christy Mathewson, 3 for 3. And he lines out to third, so they finally get the pitcher out. Here's Josh DeVore. This one is going to be a base hit. His power was pretty weak on this one, but he gets the base hit. DeVore will go to first. And so once again, the Giants continue to get hits. And here is Larry Doyle. Doyle grounds one to second. DeVore does get to second base on the play, as Ingerton gets the sure out at first. And now we will see Fred Snodgrass. Strike out. A player with the first name of Willie hit the first home run for the Giants in Candlestick Park. Who was that player? Could that be who I think it was? Willie Kirkland. Well, a lot of people might have thought it was Willie McCovey. What do I know? I don't know enough about baseball anyway. Bottom of the 7th. Let's see. Christy Mathewson is definitely no threat of fatigue, and I have a funny feeling Mathewson is going to pitch a complete game here. Let's go to Ed McDonald. He hits a ground ball to short, 1 man down. And now we shall see Hank Gowdy. And Gowdy is going to get a double. He will go to second on the play. And now coming up for Boston will be Bill Raridan. And Fred Tenney will bring in George Jackson to pinch hit. Okay, let's have a look at him. George Jackson, in 1911, 347 average. He had only 147 at bats. Okay. Definitely is not strong in power, but he might hit for average. Let's see how he does. And he comes through with the base hit. So that's going to be runners at first and third with 1 out now, as maybe the Boston Rustlers have something going on. Hank Griffin is scheduled, and he'll bring in Mike instead. Coming on to bat for the Rustlers will be Mike Donlin, and in 1911 a 316 average. That has a little bit of power. Let's see how he does. And he grounds it back to Mathewson. It's a fielder's choice. The runner on third, Gowdy, is out. Jackson takes second. Runners at first and second now, but 2 outs, and now Ingerton will come up. And he pop flies out to short. And let's see. We're going to go to the 8th inning. It's still 9-2 Giants, and Fred Tenney brings in Orly Weaver to pitch. And let's have a look at Mr. Weaver. Orly Weaver. In 1911, 6 wins, 14 losses, a 5.3 RA. The Boston Rustlers were not a key player in the pennant race in 1911. So I guess it's one of their pitchers at high ERAs. Red Murray's going to ground out to third base. McDonald throws him out, 1 away. And now we'll see Fred Merkel. Merkel's going to come up with a base hit. He'll go to first. So Merkel continues to play very well today. And now here's Buck Herzog. Herzog walks. That's runners now at first and second with 1 out. And Art Fletcher will come up for the Giants. There's a fly ball to Spratt in center, 1 man down. 2 men out. And now here's Chief Myers. Myers, it's a ground ball to Ingerton, and it's a single through the infield. Couldn't get to it. Merkel will score from second. Herzog takes the third. It is now 10-2, New York Giants. Christy Mathewson, who is 3 for 4, he strikes out, and the inning comes to an end. New York Giants 10, Boston Rustlers 2, bottom of the 8th. And Al Bridwell will bat for the Rustlers. There's a single to right. He will go to first. And now here's Al Kaiser. Kaiser, it's a ground ball to third, and they get the force out at second for the first out. Kaiser will go to first, and now here's Harry Spratt. There you go. There's a base hit. Kaiser will take second, and now runners at first and second, 1 out. Again, the Rustlers are threatening. Doc Miller is the batter. And I think we're going to see a big one. Yep, there's a double. Kaiser scores from second. Spratt takes third. It's now 10-3. Runners at second and third with 1 out. And let's go have a look and see how Mathewson. I'm pretty sure he's doing just fine. Let's see how he's doing here. Let's visit the mound and see what he says, huh? And he says he's fine. Okay, I kind of believe that. I'll let him pitch to McDonald. McDonald, it's a fly ball to DeVore in right field. It's caught. Spratt will tag up and score, and it's now 10-4. And now here's Hank Gowdy, but with 2 outs. And there's a pop out to Fletcher at short. New York 10, Boston 4. We go to the top of inning number 9. And Orly Weaver still on the mound, still pitching for the Rustlers. Here is Josh DeVore. And that is going to be a clean triple. That is a clean triple for DeVore. He goes to third, so the Giants start with a go-ahead runner at third base, and now we'll see Larry Doyle. Doyle walks, and now here's Snodgrass. 2 for 4. He scored 3 times. And we're going to see a single. DeVore will score from third. Doyle takes second. 11-4 as Snodgrass comes through with another big hit. And now we shall see Red Murray. And this one is going to be a base hit. Doyle scores from third. Snodgrass takes second. It's now 12-4. 22 hits in this game for the Giants. If I'm correct, this is right. That is probably the most amount of hits I've had since doing this replay. Here is Fred Merkel. Ground ball to short. That will be the double play. New York Giants 12, Boston Rustlers 4, bottom of the 9th inning, 22 hits. I think, actually that was 2 outs, I should say. My bad, I thought. And there's a walk, so the inning is not over yet. So now you got runners at first and third, and now Fletcher will come up. And there's another walk. Bases are loaded for Chief Myers. Yeah, I thought the inning was over. And there's a base hit. It's not over. It's not over. Send the lead runners. They're going to cut the loud run to score. 14-4. And as I said, the hits just keep on coming. Let's go to Christy Mathewson, who gets another chance at bat. He's 3 for 5. And he's hit by the pitch. He's plunked. Oh, boy. I can only imagine what the Boston Rustler manager is saying. They said, could we just get one more stinking out? Here's Josh DeVore. And there they finally got the force play to third base. The runner on first, Mathewson, is out. And they mercifully, that top of the inning ends. 4 runs put in the 9th. 14-4. Giants lead the Rustlers. Christy Mathewson going to try to get a complete game. And unless Boston gets within maybe a grand slam of tying the game up, I think Mathewson's going to finish the game out. There's 1 out. Ground ball to Fletcher at short. And here's Orly Weaver. Fred Tenney's going to bring in himself. Okay, so he says, I'm going to bat. So Fred Tenney brings in himself. In 1911, a 263 average. And he did hit a home run, but not a threat to do so. And there's a ground ball to Merkel, and Merkel makes the play, 2 down. And the last chance for the poor Boston Rustlers, Scotty Ingerton. And there's still going to be a little bit more baseball left. He gets a base hit, so Ingerton goes to first. And now here's Al Bridwell. Ground ball to first. Merkel's got it. Steps on the bag. Ball game. New York Giants 14, Boston Rustlers 4. Let's have a look at I have a funny feeling this is going to be a very ugly looking box score. Let's have a look at it, shall we? Let's see. For the Giants, Josh DeVore was 3 for 7. Snodgrass was 3 for 5. Murray 3 for 6. Merkel 4 for 5. Herzog 3 for 4. Myers 3 for 6. Mathewson 3 for 5. The only player who didn't get a hit was Larry Doyle, but he did score twice, so he got some walks. So Larry Doyle, the only player on the Giants not to get a hit. For the Rustlers, the two key players getting hits was Miller and Gowdy. He had 2 hits each. Mathewson gets the win. He had 3 strikeouts, and he gave up 4 earned runs. Where Cy Young takes the loss, he gave up 7 earned runs. His ERA is 17.18. That's not a Cy Young ERA that I know of. And Orly Weaver, he gave up 5 earned runs, a 22.5 ERA for the game. 23 hits, too. 23 hits. The Giants left 14 men on base. The Rustlers 7. There were no home runs. Murray and Young committed the only errors. DeVore had a triple, and so did Murray. And let's see here. Mathewson got plunked. And the Giants were 11 for 25 at RISP, where the Rustlers were 4 for 9. So that's basically Cy Young got knocked around, just like he did in that actual date on September 12th, 1911. Cy Young gets knocked around here, too. Strat-o-matic, you know what you're talking about, don't you? Well, everyone, I want to thank you very much for this game. The 1912 season will be next. I'll pick a game from there, but everyone have a good night. Once again, final score, the New York Giants 14, the Boston Rustlers 4. Have a good night, everyone. I'll catch you later.